Welcome to VLearn's online class. In today's session, we will discuss about the multi-phase trees and B trees. And after this, we will discuss about the graphs. That is also a part of non-linear data structure. Now, जैसे कि हमने previous session में पढ़ा कि what is non-linear data structure, that is what is tree, what is binary tree, what is binary search tree, what is AVL tree and so on. Means there are different types of trees that exist in a non-linear data structure. But in binary search tree, each node contains maximum one value and it has at most two branches or you can say two edges. जैसा आपने प्रीवियसली बाइनरी सर्च ट्री में देखा कि आप एक नोड इंसर्ट करते हैं, देन whenever you want to insert another value in the tree, then you have to compare that value with the particular node value. If the value you want to insert is less than the node value, then this value becomes at the left subtree, and if the value is greater than the node value, then it will comes under the right subtree. In this way, you can see that in binary search tree, each node holds maximum one value and have at most two branches or you can say two edges. Those in the left branch have less value and less value than the node, and the right branch have greater value than the node. But for example, if you keep two values in each node, that means at most three branches, the resistance are split into three groups. Now, what is the use of multi-way tree? जैसा कि हमने बाइनरी सर्च ट्री में देखा, one node contain maximum of one value. This means the height of the tree will become larger and larger whenever you want to insert any value. And to remove this complexity, or you can say to make the tree in simplest form, the M tree or multi-value tree is implemented. You can see here, there is a node which contains more than one values. This is a form of multi-way tree. Next is B tree. B tree is balanced multi-way tree. जैसा आपने binary search tree create किया, in the same way you can create B tree. But the difference between binary search tree and B tree is in B tree a particular node can contain more than one value. If you want to insert the values in the B tree, then there is an order given with the tree, given with the B tree, on the basis of which you can insert particular number of values in a particular node. And it is mainly used in external sorting. But to reduce the disk excesses, several conditions must be true. That is, the height of the tree must be kept to minimum. There must be no empty subtrees above the leaf nodes. The leaf nodes, or you can say the terminal node of the tree, must be on the same level, and all the nodes except the leaf node must be at least some minimum number of children. These are the conditions, or you can say the particular conditions that the tree must satisfy to reduce the disk excesses. Now, what are the features of B tree? B tree must have the following properties. In case of B tree, there is an order you have given with the B tree, and on the basis of this particular order, you can insert a particular number of values in the tree. First is each node has a maximum of m children and minimum of m divided by 2 children, any number from 2 to the maximum. Means every node in a B tree can contain children, but the minimum number of children is m divided by 2, where m is the order of the tree and the maximum number of children is m. Now, each node has one fewer keys than the children with a maximum of n minus 1 keys. जो भी आप values insert करेंगे एक particular node के अंदर, each node can contain, if there is m order given with the tree, then each node can contain m minus 1 values, or you can say m minus 1 keys. All the keys are arranged in the defined order within a node. All the keys in subtree to the left of the tree are predecessors of the key, and all the on the right are successor of the key. when a new key is to be inserted into a full node, then the node will be splitted into two nodes. जैसे ही आप कोई वैल्यू इंसर्ट करेंगे, suppose there is a order 4, it means a node contain, a particular node can contain total 3 values. 3 means 4 minus 1 values. जैसा कि आपने इस कंडीशन में देखा, a particular node can contain m minus 1. That is, if the order is 4, it means the particular node can contain m minus 1. That is 3 values. Now, if the values are greater than 3, or you can say if there are 4 values or 5 values you want to insert, then what will happen? Whenever you insert a new value after the maximum limit reaches, it means आपने 3 values insert कर दिए, and whenever you insert any other value like 4, then the node will be split into 2 parts, and the median value of that node will become the parent node. Now all the leaves are on the same level and there is no empty subtree above the level of the leaves. जितने भी leaf nodes होंगे, they will be on the same level. Now, for example, a normal node of a tree of order 11. If there is order 11, it means it has at least 11 divided by 2, that is 6, and maximum 11 children. Now, if you want to insert value in a B tree, if you want to delete value in a B tree, if you want to update value in a B tree, then firstly the search for the place will be performed where you want to insert or from where you want to delete a value. If the node can accommodate the new record insertion, then it is simple. The record is added to the node with the appropriate pointer so that the number of pointers one more than the number of records. You can see one example. Consider building a B tree of degree 4. There is a degree which is 4 given with B tree, that is balanced 4-way tree where each node can hold 3 data values. Because the order is 4, it means each node can contain 4 minus 1, that is 3 data values, and have 4 branches. And suppose it needs to contain the following values. If you want to insert these values in the B tree, then what will happen? The first value is 1. It is placed in the new node which can accommodate the next 2 values also. Next is 5 and next is 6. 5 is greater than 1, it means it comes at the right side of the 1. Again, you want to insert 6, then 6 is also greater than 1, then 6 will be inserted at the right side of 5. Now next value is 2. There is order 4, it means maximum 3 values can be inserted in a node. Now what happens if you want to insert 2? If you insert 2, it means it comes before 5. 1, because 2 is smaller than 5, then it will come before 5. Then now you have to split this node into 2 parts. Now 1, 2, 5, 6 will be the values after insertion. And if you if you want split this node, then the values will be 5 will become the root node, because from the 5 it is splitted, that is 4 divided by 2, and 1 2 will become, or 1 2 will be placed at the left subtree, and the 6 will be placed at the right subtree. Now one thing you have to note here, that you cannot insert any value in the root node of the B tree directly. Now next is now 13 to be added. Now if you want to add 13, then firstly 13 will be compared with the 5. It is greater than 5, it means it comes at the right side of the 5. Now it is also greater than 6, it means it becomes at the right side of the 6. Or if there is leaf node, that is in case of 13, but the right leaf node, the 13 finds appropriate places full. Now what will happen? But before 13 there are values like 8. 8 will be added here, and after 8 you have to insert 11. Now if you insert 11 at 6, 8 and 11, it will be accepted. Now next is 13. If you insert 13 here, means after 6 8 will be inserted, after 8 11 will be inserted, and after 11 13 will be inserted. But it is not possible that this node contain more than 3 values, then it will be again splitted, and from 6, 8, 11 and 13 11 will goes to the root node. It means 5, 11 will present in the root node. Next is 18. Now you want to insert 18, then 18 will be compared with 5 and 8, and accordingly you can insert the 18. Means while creating B tree, you have to maintain the properties, you have to follow the same rules as we follow in the binary search tree. That is, the smaller value will comes at the left side of the root node, and the greater values from the root node will comes at the right side of the root node. But the difference between B tree and binary search tree is, in B tree one node can contain more than one values according to the order specified by the or specified with the tree, but the maximum number of values totally depends on the order, and the maximum number of values can be order minus 1. This is all about the B tree. This you can see B tree. Now if you want to delete a particular value from a B tree, the same conditions will be applied. Means if there are leaf node, if you want to delete a leaf node, then, and if the record is in terminal node, then deletion is simple. The record along with the appropriate pointer is deleted. But if the record is not a terminal node, then it is placed by a copy of its successor, and then that is the record with the next higher value. Means जो भी higher value होगी आप उसे उसके place पे replace कर देंगे. This is the B tree deletion. You can see here, if you want to delete H, then it is simple. After the H is deleted, here the H is present, and if you want to delete this H, then the value will be G and L. And if you want to delete R, R is not at the leaf node. Here R is present, but R is not at the leaf node. Therefore its successor, that is S, will be replaced with the R if you want to delete the particular value, that is S. This is the B tree deletion. Next is delete P. If you want to delete P now, this is the P. Now the node contains less than the minimum number of keys required. You can see here. Therefore the siblings can spare a key. So T will move and the S will move down. जैसा कि आप देख रहे हैं, if you want to delete P, then T will move, because there must be minimum number of values present at the node to satisfy the condition of B tree, and in this case the siblings can spare a key. Again deletion of D. If you want to delete D, then what will happen? Again the node is less than the minimum required. This leaves the parent with only one key, and its siblings cannot contribute. Therefore F, J, M and T are combined to form a new root. You can see here F, J, M, T is used as in combined form to create a new node. Now the next topic is graph. Graph is also non-linear data structure. It is a collection of vertices and edges, where V is a collection of vertices. Vertices can be any number of vertices, that is V0, V1, V2, V3 and so on, and also called nodes, and E is a collection of edges like E1, E2, till En. Where an edge is an arc which connects two nodes. For example, you can take example of cities. Cities are connected with roads. Road can be taken as edge and cities can be taken as vertices. You can see here the graph is a collection of vertices and edges. Then you can present the graph in this form also. You can see here vertices of a graph can be V0 to Vn, or you can say set of vertices, and edges of the graph can be E1 to En, that is set of edges. You can see the example of graph. The graph can be presented as a collection of nodes and collection of edges, or you can say collection of vertices and collection of edges. Here the vertices or nodes are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the edges are the arcs which connect these nodes in different manner. Now the graphs can be divided into two categories, that is undirected graph and directed graph. In undirected graph, there is no directions given with the arcs or with the edges. Means in this you can go from 1 to 2 and from 2 to 1 also. Similarly from 2 to 3 and 3 to 2 also. Means there is no direction given with the arcs or with the edges. Here the vertices are 1, 2, 3, 4 and the edges are 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 1, 3, 2, 3, 1, 3, 4, 4, 3, 4, 2, 4, 1 and so on. Means you can take the edges in any direction, because here the direction of edges is not specified. But in directed graph, or you can say digraph, is a graph which has ordered pair of vertices. Yeah, like you can see, you can here move from 1 to 2 only. From 2 to 1 you cannot move because the direction is specified with the arcs. In this you can move from 2 to 3, in this from 4 to 3, 4 to 1, 4 to 5 and 5 to 1. This is the directed graph. And the directions, in directed graph the edges will be presented in angular brackets, and in undirected graph the edges, the set of edges will be presented in the parenthesis brackets. With this graph, it has 5 nodes, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and total 6 edges, that is 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 4 to 3, 4 to 1, 4 to 5 and 5 to 1. And there can be another category also, that is mixed graph. Mixed graph means in which some edges or some arcs has direction and some edges has doesn't have any direction specified with there. Next is weighted graph. A graph can be said to be weighted if each edge has been assigned, or if its edges have been assigned some weight. Weighted graph can be also known as network. Now adjacent node, the nodes is adjacent to another node, or you can say is a neighbor of another node. Now what is cyclic graph? The graph that have cycles in it is called cyclic graph, and the graph that doesn't have cycles in it is called or known as acyclic graph. Now unconnected graph. Unconnected graph can be a graph if there is no path exists from any vertex to any other vertex. In this example you can say there is a path from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but 7, 6 and 8 doesn't connected with this graph. Means if any node doesn't have, or any vertex doesn't have path to any other vertex, then it is known as unconnected graph. Next is strongly connected graph. If there is directed path from any vertex to any other vertex, then it can be known as strongly connected graph. You can see here 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5 and 5 to 3. Means it is strongly connected because there is a directed path from any vertex to any other vertex. Next is weakly connected graph. if there is no directed path exists from any vertex to any other vertex. Like you can see here, there is a path from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, but there is path from 3 to 4, but 3 to 5, but 5 to 4 and 3 to 4 doesn't have any path because the direction is in opposite, means the arcs has a direction in opposite direction. Now next is representation of graph. There are two ways to representing a graph in a computer memory, that is adjacency matrix and adjacency list. Now what is adjacency matrix and adjacency list? Matrix means the representation of edges and nodes in the form of matrix, or you can say in the form of rows and columns. In other words, you can say this matrix keeps the information that whether there is an adjacent node to any other or not. And adjacency matrix is represented in 2D array. You can say here array of n into n, it means array of n into n. Ij is equal to 1 if there is an edge from a node I to node j. Ij is 0 if there is no edge from node I to j, and all the entries of this matrix will be either 1 or 0. Means आप matrix form करेंगे. Matrix means the collection of rows and columns according to the number of vertices and number of edges. If there is a edge from node 1 to node 2, then it means there will be 1 presented in the adjacency matrix. If there is no edge from node 1 to node 2, then there will be 0, and all the entries of the matrix can be either 0 or can be either 1. You can see here there is a graph which have nodes 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 nodes are arranged in rows and columns form. Now, is there is any path from 1 to 1 in this graph? No. It means there will be the value 0. There is path from 1 to 2, yes, then there will be 1. 1 to 3 there is also path, then 1 to 3 there is 1. 1 to 4 there is path, it means there will be value 1. Similarly, 2 to 1 there is path, 2 to 2 it doesn't have any path from 2 to 2, 2 to 3 there is any path, and 2 to 4 it has path. Similarly, 3 to 1 it has our edge from 3 to 1, 3 to 2 and 3 to 4, but 3 to 3 doesn't have any edge. Similarly, 4 to 1, 4 to 2 and 4 to 3 all have 1 values except 4. This is the adjacency matrix representation of a particular graph. It is a simple way to present a graph, but it has two disadvantages. It takes big O of n square space to represent a graph with n vertices, even for sparse graph. Sparse graph means in which you formulate a matrix which have maximum number of 0 values, and it takes n square time to solve most of the graph problems. And to overcome this problem, adjacency list is used. Now what is adjacency list? In this representation, you store a graph as a linked list structure. We store all the vertices in the list, and then for each vertex we have linked list for the adjacent vertices. And each node has two fields, that is vertex and link. Vertex field contains the indices of the vertex adjacent to vertex I. You can see here each node has a head node. Head nodes are sequentially providing easy access, random access to adjacency list. There is a graph 1, 2, 3, 4. If you want to present the adjacency list, then from 1 there is a path to 2, from 2 there is a path to 3, and from 3 there is a path to 4. And after each is all the nodes, at the end of the node, or you can say the end node will contain 0 or null in its linked value. Similarly, from 2 there is a path from 1, 1 to 3 and 3 to 4. In this way, from 3 there is a path to 1, 1 to 2 and 2 to 4. like this, and from vertex 4 there is a path to 3 or 2, means you can move in any direction. There is a 1 to 2 and 3. This is the adjacency list presentation which overcome the drawbacks of adjacency matrix. This is all about the representation of graph. Next is traversal of a graph. Like trees, as we already discussed about the tree traversal. Traversal means visiting each node at least once in the tree or in a graph. Like in trees, we have read about like pre-order, in-order and post-order traversal. There are 3 techniques in the tree to traverse each and every node at least once, which are pre-order, post-order and in-order. In the case of graphs, the traversal techniques are categorized into 2 categories, that is DFS and BFS. Depth first search and breadth first search. Now what is DFS and what is BFS? In DFS, all of our vertices, descendants are processed before moves to the adjacent vertex. Means in DFS traversal of a graph, it starts by processing the first vertex of the graph, and after processing the first vertex, we select the vertex adjacent to the first vertex and process it till the end. And we process each vertex until we visit all the nodes. Here, if V1 is starting point, then reach all the vertex in the depth. Means in this, all the vertices are visited till the depth of that vertex. If you want to see the algorithm for DFS, then the step is set the starting point of traversal and push it inside the stack. First a point select करेंगे, then you have to push this point at the stack, then pop the stack and add the popped vertex to a list, then find the adjacent vertices to the most recently visited vertex and push this adjacent vertices in the stack. And this process will be repeated until the stack is not empty. Now what is BFS? जैसा कि DFS में क्या है, DFS में आप विजिट करते हैं नोड्स को starting from one node to the means you move to the descendants of that particular node. Means आप depth में move करते रहते हैं till you reach at the end of that particular node. In BFS, all the adjacent vertices will be visited. Means firstly you visit all the adjacent vertices of the start vertex, then visit all the unvisited vertices adjacent to this, and so on. Means in BFS, in case of breadth first search, all the adjacent vertices are visited before going to any unvisited vertices. Adjacent means which are the neighbor of that particular vertex. Means in BFS we mainly consider the adjacent vertices, and in DFS we mainly consider the depth of the particular node. These are all about the 2 techniques of DFS and BFS. Thank you.